Assalamu alaikum. In today's episode, our guest grew up in a small town in California, in a close knit community where life felt familiar and expected. But even as a teenager, she carried quiet questions in her heart. While many around her were simply growing up, she was searching for meaning, for truth, for something that felt fully hers. In the midst of family expectations and small town eyes, she navigated her emotions quietly and courageously. Her journey wasn't loud, it was internal, it was thoughtful, and it was deeply personal. Over time, that search led her to Islam, not out of rebellion, but out of conviction. And later, she stepped into a new chapter, marrying into an Arab family and learning to navigate culture alongside faith. Her story is one of quiet bravery, of trusting your heart, even when the path feels unfamiliar. Thank you, Linda, for joining us today and welcome. It's so cozy and beautiful in this room,
Mhm.
and the kind of feeling we get when we come to your home every time, Linda.
Oh, I'm thankful for that you feel that way.
So, I'd love to start with who is Linda?
I was born and raised in California, small town Visalia. I have 3 sisters. One of them is my half sister, which is my oldest. And yeah, I was born in a small town and it was really lovely. We loved it. We knew a lot of people there because it's like our own little village. After they came from Thailand, my family settled there. Every time we have a gathering, we kind of know each other. It's always family and relative, first cousins, second cousins, and so on. So that's where I was born and raised, and then I went to high school, graduated, went to 2 years college there, and
So,
then I
all that
ended up
was California?
California,
Mhm.
and then I finished my other 2 years in Florida. Yeah. So and then I got married, and here I am, but before that, I had my little journey, a
Yeah.
little experiment in the beginning. I was curious about religion, and, I was in a Christian chat room actually at that time. This is right before I graduated high school. It was the
Okay.
summer of after I graduated that same year. I was in a Christian chat room. I was kind of bored, wanted to just chit chat with anybody. And then some random guy was like, Jesus is not God. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? That's not, how can you say such a thing, at that time? And then I was introduced to Islam and the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
عليه الصلاة والسلام.
and that's how the journey started from there. And every day was just learning, and trying to understand this religion.
Wow. Okay, let's pause for a second. So you were 18, 19?
I was 17 and a half.
Wow. So at 17 and a half, you were chatting. So you said
Yeah,
chat room. So you were online.
Christian chat room on Yahoo.
Online.
Yeah, on Yahoo.com.
Wow.
Christian chat room.
Okay. And through the internet was how you were introduced to Islam.
Basically, yes. And this is right after 9/11, which
Mm.
still I wasn't sure what Islam or Muslims were at that time when this whole conversion process happened. Yeah.
And so when and how did you start to feel like you wanted to learn more?
I think it was after 3 to 4 months into learning about Islam. And then that little conviction started to come in. I'm like, wait, I feel like this is, a religion I need to follow. Because I started to lose my interest in Christianity only because there were so many contradictions after reading the Bible again and then like looking at all the differences in different Bibles. So I wanted to see how it doesn't even make sense to me anymore at that time. So my feelings towards Islam was stronger than towards Christianity. I stopped going to church. I stopped teaching my first grade class during Sunday school. I stopped my band. I stopped doing a lot of things at the church, and they were very confused why I'm not attending anymore. So they would question me like, "Why are you not coming? Did you do something wrong? Have you sinned? If you sinned, come back to Jesus." So it was just a lot of complicated moments, and I just didn't want to tell anybody. The only person that knew was my best friend and my sister, my
Oh,
little sister Sarah. But they were still against me too at that time, to be honest. They were like, "What are you doing? You're crazy," "Don't listen to that guy who told you about this." I'm like, "It doesn't have to do about him no more. Now it's just about I need to know where I stand as far as religion, as far as my commitment to God, at that point, because I was always, like, God conscious since I was little, and I just wanted to find a right path, and I felt like I gravitated towards Islam more than Christianity by 4 months, 5 months into studying Islam. Yeah, and that's how my conversion happened after maybe I would say maybe 6 months on, I was like, "I need to go to the masjid, I need to convert, I need to, like, continue learning," and I went to a small little masjid we have there because it's a small little city, so we ended up going there, and it was scary at first because I didn't know, like, how to wear hijab. I was like, "How do I do this?" And somehow, like, there was a man there, and he was like, "The imam's not here today, but, you can talk to his daughter." His daughter was there. So I did, and I made the shahada, and yeah, and then alhamdulillah, after that, I just kept on learning.
Wow,
Yeah.
so that's, fast forward many years.
Yeah, 23 years now.
MashaAllah,
Yeah, still a
mashallah.
lot to learn though.
Yeah,
I
mashallah.
feel like I was learning so much before I had kids, and after I had kids, I felt so busy, and I felt like my responsibility was just raising a kid and family and all of that, so I feel like that kinda delayed me on wanting to learn more as far as, like, reading faster in Arabic and stuff like that, but there was an Egyptian lady who did teach me, I can't forget about her. Her name was Tahar, and she taught me Arabic, the first, like, the letters of Arabic in the beginning. So
Oh,
that was a blessing too, alhamdulillah.
mhm.
So she taught me that, and then we started to learn how to read a little bit, and after that, I started to learn with my husband and so on
Linda, when
and
you
so forth.
look back at your 17-and-a-half-year self who started that journey, that must have been such a brave move.
Yeah, it was a big step, especially coming from a city where there's barely any Muslims. I would say maybe 100,
Oh,
100 to 200, maybe even less. I don't even know, but
wow.
yeah, it was very scary, and I swear I wanted to, like, wear hijab right away, but I was like, "No, but, nobody wears hijab, they won't know what I'm doing," and I got so scared I didn't wanna wear a
Yeah,
hijab at that time, but I had so many, like, moments where I want to, but I couldn't because nobody knew what Islam was, they didn't know who Muslims were, they would all my friends, I thought I would lose all my friends, you know? But people did step away because they found out, but I had, like, couple friends who were really true. And those ones were the honest ones that I felt that they didn't care what I did as long as I'm still good and I'm the same person. So they stuck around. So I would say their names are Dorcas and Helen. So I really appreciate them. Even up until now, they check up on me. So that's a really
that's
a
wonderful.
blessing for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
reason. Yeah.
And you mentioned at the beginning that you came from a small town and everybody knew each other.
Yeah, basically we did, especially our culture because when they all came here from Thailand, they came as refugees. Everyone kind of settled in the same town because they wanted to be close to each other. So we all kind of knew each other and they ended up marrying first cousins, second cousins, so on. So it became a big family kind of.
Yeah, so I'm just imagining the little teenage girl at 17 and a half
Yeah.
that made such a different choice than everybody around her in that village.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
It was again, it was very scary. I'm like, "Am I doing this?" And, like, is it even though I know to me, it was the right thing to do because I felt like this is the right path, but I knew the consequences. I knew I'm gonna lose people. I know people are not gonna wanna talk to me anymore, but I was like, "I don't care. Whatever it takes me, it'll take me." And
subhanallah,
subhanAllah,
yeah.
here I am, mashallah.
Yeah,
Lots
mashallah,
of friends like
tabarakallah,
you guys, mashallah,
mashallah,
very blessed, alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah.
So
And what about your parents?
so my stepdad and my mom was not happy, of course. They were like, "How can you do this? You've been a Christian for 18 years. Like, come back. There's no reason for you to change." And I told them the same thing as you guys reverted, or not converted. They not reverted, converted to Christianity. They were animists back in their country. They believed in spirits and all of that. I said the same way you guys turned to Christianity. I felt like you know I want to be a Muslim because I felt like I was gravitating towards it more. My heart was there not towards Jesus is God,
Yeah,
astaghfirullah, so I
yeah.
couldn't do that. I couldn't do that no more.
Yeah.
And even after the conversion, I was having lots of nightmares where I was in a church and I'm like, I don't belong in the church. Why am I here? Like, no, I shouldn't be here. And then I'm like, oh no, my scarf, my hijab is not here. Like, it's not on. Like, I would
Yeah.
have lots of nightmares, more than 5 times, I would say. Like, I would have it at least once or twice a year since conversion. Yeah.
And when was that moment when you decided that you were ready um, to wear your hijab?
Yeah. So I was, right after I had my first son, Kadeem. I think after 2, 3 months in, I was like, I'm gonna do it. We were going out for dinner one night, my husband and I and Kadeem, he was still a baby. And I was like, I want to put it on. I feel like I'm ready. And I did. And my husband's like, what are you doing? I was like, I think I am ready to put my hijab on. I just did it right away. Since then, I haven't, looked back. So he was okay with it. He was actually very patient with me. He didn't force me to wear or anything. It wasn't even his decision. I just made the decision myself. So, alhamdulillah, and yeah, and I think having friends who wore hijab in Florida at that time was very helpful because they encouraged me and they motivated me, and I felt strong and ready to. Yeah,
Mhm.
alhamdulillah, by the will of Allah, of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, mashallah, tabarakallah. And you've mentioned community a few times, so it looks like community was a huge support on your journey.
it was, especially in Tampa when I moved because I got married in Tampa. And there they were very active in their masjid and their dawah. And I think at that time we, after marriage, we did a lot of dars. We attended a lot of dars because there's not much to do, right? We're newlyweds, we're bored. So we used to go to the masjid all the time. And there I've met a lot of girlfriends, which is really great because they helped a lot with my journey too. And trying to learn more and be better, all of that, etc. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, and so I love that how community can support you when you're going through big life changes.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah,
It's hard to walk alone. Yeah.
very hard.
It's not easy to walk alone. When you
And
walk alone, you feel lonely and sometimes you have doubts. Or sometimes you're like, it's just what I'm doing, is it correct? Until somebody's there with you, kind of on your side, then you kind of feel more stronger to kind of keep pushing through.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. When you look back at your decision to go into a marriage of a very different culture,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
So I wasn't concerned about the culture because I've always wanted to marry outside of my culture anyway.
Okay.
But I think, it was more like, honestly, I didn't even wanna get married after my conversion. Like, I converted 3 years before marriage. I didn't know my husband until 3 years later, and I met him through, again, Yahoo chat room somehow. I was in the Islamic chat
Yeah.
room this time. I was at a friend's house, and, it was during the, tsunami. They were having a fundraising in LA, so I went to her house in LA, and after the fundraising, I asked her if I can use her laptop because I was really bored. I thought, "Okay, let me go chit chat with people again," because that's all I did. I just like to chit chat with anyone just for fun, nothing serious. And then he just randomly texted me, like messaged me. I was like, "No, who's this guy?" He wasn't like approaching me in a rude way or anything like that. It was just very formal. Like, "Hey, how's it going?" Whatever. And I was like, "Okay, another guy. I don't feel like talk to any guy right now. I just want to talk to a girl, chit chat with a girl." And I ignored him for like a week. And then suddenly he messaged again, like, "Salam alaikum, like, how are you?" And I was like, "What is this guy doing? He's bothering me too much." So anyway, we just ended up introducing each other. And I felt like he was very mature. I felt like he was not like pushy or trying, some people are very strange online. You never know
Yes,
who you get.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I was like, he seems mature. I felt like he was helping me a little bit, all helping me gain some more knowledge. And I felt like, okay, that's nice because that's what I need. And then with time, I felt like, he's a husband material. He seemed like he was husband material. He seemed like he knows what he's doing in life. At that time, he was just working at a restaurant, and I was in college. And he was like, I'm here for marriage, but if you're not serious, I can't speak to you anymore. I was like, that's weird. And then after that, I was like, okay, okay, we'll chit chat. I'm not married for marriage myself because I want to finish college. That was my intention. Like, I don't want to marry until I finish college. But somehow, Allah knew best, and we ended up talking more. We ended up getting engaged and married afterwards, like within 10 months.
Oh, mashallah,
Yeah,
mashallah. Yeah.
a little
And
bit less.
then you get introduced to the Arabic culture.
I did. Yeah.
So tell me a little
So,
bit
so
about
the
that.
Arabic culture, I was like, I got when I after I married my husband, the word I hated the most was yalla. I was like, I hate the word yalla because I feel like everywhere we're going, he's like yalla, yalla, and I'm like, why do you keep saying yalla? It's so annoying. I used to hate it, but then subhanallah, after like 5 years in, I'm saying yalla, yalla all the time. So now I say yalla to my kids all the time, and now I pick up like Arabic words. Even when I'm doing little things, my Arabic words just come through. And yes, the culture was different for me because, of course, I didn't know anything about Arab in general. I didn't know about Arabic food or anything like that. My husband's from Jordan. When we first got married, the first week he made me mensa, and I was very disgusted. I'm like, who eats hot yogurt
Yeah, yeah,
with lamb? And I didn't eat lamb too growing up. So that was my first lamb. And I'm like, this is gross at that time. But I love it now. So it's a different story.
yeah,
But the culture was a little different. I feel like people were more tougher, more open compared to the Asian culture. We're very open too, but we're more we don't express our feelings much, physically, verbally, how we feel, unless we're angry. That's probably the only expression we're good at.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, like if we appreciate someone, we don't really say it much.
Mm.
Yeah, we show it through giving them stuff and doing things, but we don't verbally say it. Yeah.
Mm.
So I feel like in Arab culture, they were more affectionate, more verbal. And I feel like that even helped me grow as a person, to be honest. Like, I see my husband like more affectionate, more verbal, and I'm like, oh, I can. Like, I learned through that. After 20 years of marriage, I learned all of these habits that the Arab people have in
Yeah.
their culture. And then serving, they're very hospitable and all of that. So I learned that too. Not that we're not, but it's in a different way. So I feel like I pick up a lot of the Arabic culture. Now I consider myself half Arab.
I would say you are.
I
And
don't know.
for those who know you, they know that Linda, mashallah, cooks the Arabic food better than we do.
I try. You too, guys.
Mashallah,
Alhamdulillah,
mashallah.
yeah.
Um, so tell me what was like one thing that shocked you about the Arabic culture?
How
Or
blunt they were,
blunt. Okay. Mhm.
and I feel like they're, at least from my experience, they're more materialistic. The ones that I know, at least, I feel like more materialistic than the one how I grew up. I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. We're kind of poor, and I only literally had one toy growing up, like my Little Mermaid. But that's all I had, and I loved it. And I felt like when I married into the culture, it's just a little bit different because I feel like people, when you buy them something, they expect you to get something more than what you can afford sometimes.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
something I wouldn't buy for myself, like I have to buy it for someone. That's what I noticed as far as gifts, because we
Mm.
didn't do a lot of gifts growing up
Mm.
in my culture. Like our gifts was Christmas gifts,
Mm,
and that
that's
was,
true.
and my grandma used to just give us a bar of soap, a matching socks, and a toothbrush and toothpaste. That was our gift, and it was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
were so appreciative of it. But
Yeah.
then when I got married, I'm like, "Oh, people are not happy because they want certain things the way it's a gift to me is something that you give to someone because it came from your heart.
Yes. Absolutely.
And if we don't know what they want, they can't blame us for not knowing what they want. So this
Yeah.
is where I feel like the culture differences and the for me it was a shocker. So I even till now I tell my kids like be thankful of whatever you receive and don't expect too much from other people. And even my kids now, like, they don't especially my 2 boys, like, before, they didn't even ask for Nike shoes or Adidas, like, name brands, nothing, because I try not to expose them to name brands because we didn't grow up in name brands as far as if you wanna talk about shopping, materialistic things. I try to raise them to be, like, good people, to understand others, always be mindful when you say something. Because sometimes your words are sharp and it's gonna hurt someone. So I try to teach them that. Of course, not everyone's gonna go perfectly, but they at least it's in the back of their minds and they should know, you know, when you conversate with people and hang out with your friends, you have to be careful, be good, be nice, be mindful. I feel like this is very important. as far as, understanding others. To me, it's just understanding others and just being respectful is the key point
Mhm.
of raising my child and my kids. And
Almost
yeah,
feels like it's a value to you.
it is definitely because I feel like if I treat others with respect, I expect the same, but it's not always going to be the same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then again, you have to know where you stand with people. You stick around with those who treats you good.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
When you look back now, do you feel that there was anything missing when you embraced Islam? Do you feel like you wish that you had a certain kind of support that you maybe discovered later?
Yes. Um, Good question. I actually do. I did. I felt like becoming Muslim was like the best thing ever because I felt like this is amazing. One true God. Nothing else in between. But I felt like I wanted my family to also be Muslim and be with me and
Mhm.
celebrate Ramadan, celebrate Eid. So honestly, within this 20 years, I that was kind of always vacant. It's like, okay, what did we do this year? What did we do this year? It's just always me and my husband and the kid, always me and my husband and the children after I had multiple kids. So I was like, what did we do? So we don't have a tradition. And I wish that we had a tradition. I wish we had bigger families. His family's in Jordan, my family's in California. They're not Muslims. So I felt like we needed to create our own traditional, Ramadan stuff and Eid gathering, which we never had within this 20 years. It's always, which is great. We had neighbors and friends that we were able to do that with, but not every year, depending who's available.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was the missing part
Mm.
coming into Islam. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
The things that you used to be able to share with the family.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
before Christmas, stuff like that. Yeah. It was fun. It was always a big fam again, relatives, uncles, aunts, everybody's there. We do performances during Christmas. So things like that. I kind of missed out having a lot of people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's absent now, not as much. But luckily, alhamdulillah, we have a bigger family. So we're able to try to create our own little tradition. Not that we have any, but you try to make it happen. Yeah.
So you lived in California and then moved to Florida, and then how long have you been in Texas?
13 years.
13. Does it feel like home?
It does feel like home now. Yeah, it does. It does feel like home. In the beginning, no. Like, I think it took me about 3 to 4 years until I kind of got comfortable. And now I'm like, it's very comfortable. I just miss the greenery.
Mm.
Yeah. Of California. Um, the Four Seasons. I moved to Florida, Tampa, Florida. After that, we were in Chicago, New Jersey, and then we came to Texas.
Mm. So you've
Yeah.
been around.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice. It was a nice experience. I love Chicago, especially. Yeah.
Would you say this is it?
I don't know. I can't say this is it. We still talk about stuff. We still talk about the future, like where else we can move to. But so far, his office is here, so we're kind of settled in the moment. But alhamdulillah, we've established so much here, friends and people and his work.
And if there was um, a piece of advice that you would give to a revert today, what would it be?
Yes, I would say um, be honest with yourself and before you share your story to everyone, make sure you're you're convinced and you're true in your intentions. Otherwise, I only say that because I had a friend who also reverted with me, but she ended up going back to Christianity, and she's like, I can't do this. So I would say just be true and know that this is the path that you want to take before you actually announce it to everyone. You and God, you and Allah by yourselves. And then look for people who can help you. Go to the masjid, I would say. Go to group of ladies if there's ladies, group of men if there's men who can help you at the masjid. And some will actually guide you and help you. Some will be like, "Oh, congratulations," and move on. But find your people and help them guide you and push you through. Keep going. And lots of resources, of course, for learning Arabic and learning how to pray and so on, which I also practiced myself in the first month of reverting. Yeah. In my room, I would lock the door have my little prayer carpet, have Surat al-Fatiha in my hand. I printed it out from my college library, and I would just pray. I'm practicing, but I'm praying. I'm trying my best. In the beginning, I was confused about the roka and how much to pray. So sometimes I'm like, it's 10 minutes in. I'm not sure if I'm if I'm done or not. And then finally, I'm like, okay, let me go to Islamic Finder or IslamicSomething.com, IslamWay.com. That was my website that I used to always go back to find more information. So it helped a lot. Yeah. Step by step. Then I'm like, okay, I'm overdoing this. I don't need to overdo this. So yeah. And then I think I watch videos, which helped me understand, okay, two roka, four, and then three. So I learned afterwards. But practicing Surah Al-Fatiha, I did it in English and I read the transliteration first. So that's how I was able to memorize Quran.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then, of course, after that, started to read a little bit more in actual Arabic language. But I started off with transliteration. I think that's the best way if you want to learn, and listening to like the surahs from the reciters. It helps a lot. That would be my suggestion for them.
Yeah.
And read Quran in English first. Understand it a little bit. Then once you understand what the Quran is all about, you can go ahead and start the Arabic. Because I feel like you have to know before you go into it deep. Read it, understand what the stories are all about. Because when I read the Quran, I was like, it's weird. It's not like a story. It's like broken up stories. It's not like a book. Everything has a history. Everything has a little parts instead of like the Bible where it tells you so many stories in between. Yeah, it was very different, but it made a lot of sense to me. So
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. And I see, just listening, I'm seeing determination and
yeah,
perseverance, mashallah.
it does take a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. And if you are going to meet for coffee with 17-and-a-half-year-old Linda, what would you tell her?
I would tell her be stronger. Even though for me, people see me, they think that I was very strong to do that, brave. I took a leap of faith and everything, but in that moment, I was trembling inwards. Inwardly, I was trembling. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? But then I kept going, and here I am.
Yeah.
Really. And 17-year-old, I would tell myself to like kind of silence the voices around you because there were so many people telling me, like, what are you doing? Why are you wearing hijab? Blah, blah, blah. Like everybody was telling me all of this stuff, like friends. But then at the end, they came to realize that I was nothing but better than before. Yeah. Even my mom, she realized I was better than before, you know. So because of that, they see that and they embraced my reversion.
Yeah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, they embraced it.
Yeah.
And everyone's okay with it now. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your 17-year-old self made such a huge life change.
Yeah, subhanallah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still go back, I still think about all of that, and I'm like, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I wouldn't have that's why I have nightmares because I was so convinced that Islam was my religion that I couldn't even sit in the church in my dream.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Um, for those who are seeking the religion, I would say learn first. Don't move so fast. You take your time. For me, I feel like I read and over learned. Sometimes I feel like I wish I slowed down a little bit.
Mm.
But I am here today. It's fine. But continue learning. Don't stop. Um, even if you have kids, keep learning. There's gonna be more responsibility, and you feel like you're lacking much because of all the home and kids and stuff. But keep learning, keep going. If once you do revert, and if you decide to, so that's my story.
Thank you so much, Linda, for sharing your journey.
Thank you
So,
for having me. I'm
yeah.
glad to share my part. I mean, there's much more to say, but right now, this is all we can, discuss at the moment. So
Yes, and we might have a part 2 where you can
it's
tell
possible.
us tell us more and more about the beautiful journey. It's been 20 years, so
Yeah.
hard to fit it into
Yes.
one episode. Thank you
Exactly.
so much.
You're welcome.